Yo, good day guys. For today, we're going to discuss Roserade. Roserade is a grass and poison type. Roserade can be useful to counter water types. In Great League, there are so many water types, Azumarill, Swampert, so on and so forth. If you check the meta list, most of the top 10 Pokemons are water types. So Roserade could be a good boost to your team in Great League. Roserade ranks number 396 in the meta list, and its key matchups are Azumarill, Altaria, Clefable, Togekiss, and Lantern, while its top counters are Steelix, Wormedum, Bonezong, Fortress, and Registeel. Roserade's best fast move is Poison Jab and Razor Leaf, while its best charged move is Sludge Bomb, followed by Grass Knot, Solar Beam, and Dusting Beam. Roserade's weaknesses are Fire, Flying, Ice, and Psychic, while its resistances are Grass, Water, Fighting, Fairy, and Electric. Currently, there are 5 water types in the meta list, or in the top 10 of the meta list. First is Azumarill, followed by Swampert Shadow, Mantine, Whiscash. So those are the top water types in the meta list. If Roserade is about to battle Azumarill, and Azumarill having Bubble as fast move and Ice Beam, Hydro Pump as charge attacks or charge moves, while Roserade having Poison Jab as fast move and Grass Knot, Solar Beam as charge moves, with both Pokemon having 2 shields, Roserade will win the match in 61.5 seconds, while if both Pokemons having only 1 shield each, Roserade will still win the match in 45.5 seconds. Now, if both Pokemons doesn't have shields, Azumarill will win in 18.5 seconds. So if both Pokemon doesn't have shields, Azumarill could take the match. So be careful when using your shields. Make sure you save at least one if you faced Azumarill using Roserade. Now if Roserade is about to face Swampert's having Mudshot as fast move, Hydro Cannon and Earthquake as charge moves, while Roserade still having Poison Jab as fast move and Grass Knot, Solar Beam as charge moves, with both Pokemons having 2 shields. Swampert will win the match in 67 seconds, maybe because of the Earthquake factor or Earthquake attack of Swampert. Check if both Pokemon having 1 shield. Still, Swampert will win the match in 43 seconds. Now, if both Pokemon doesn't have shields, Roserade will win the match in 19 seconds. So Roserade has the advantage if both Pokemon's Swampert and Roserade doesn't have shields. Now if Roserade is about to battle Swampert Shadow with Mudshot as fast move, Hydro Cannon, Earthquake as charge moves, and still Roserade having Poison Jab, Grass Knot, and Solar Beam, with both Pokemons having 2 shields, Swampert Shadow will win the match in 65 seconds. So like the Swampert Origin or plain Swampert, Swampert will still win the match if both Pokemons have 2 shields. If both Pokemons having 1 shield, Swampert Shadow will win the match in 42 seconds. Now if both Pokemons have no shields each, Roserade will win the match in 19 seconds. So Swampert Shadow and Swampert Plain or Origin or Original Swampert or just plain Swampert, if both Pokemons have shields, 1 or 2, Swampert will win the match. If Roserade or if both Pokemons doesn't have shields, Roserade could take the match in 19 seconds. Now if Roserade is about to battle Mantine, with Mantine having Bubble as fast move, Bubble Beam and Ice Beam as charge attacks or charge moves, while still Roserade having Poison Jab, Grass Knot, and Solar Beam as fast move and charge move respectively, both Pokemon having 2 shields each, Mantine could win the match in 70.5 seconds. Now, if both Pokemon have one shield each, still Mantine could take the match in 44 seconds. If both Pokemon doesn't have shields, Mantine could win the match in 18.5 seconds. So Roserade versus Mantine. Mantine will win the match regardless of the status of the shields. Now, let's take a look at my battles. In this clip, Azumarill versus Azumarill. He was able to launch Ice Beam, but Ice attacks are not effective against Azumarill. Both of us doesn't have shields, and my Azumarill will take down my opponent's Azumarill using Play Rough. He brought out Superior, and Grass types are one of the weaknesses of Water types like Azumarill. But Azumarill is very lucky enough to survive Leaf Tornado, and will launch Play Rough to finish this match. Roserade versus Ivysaur. My Roserade have the advantage here because of Poison Jab as its fast attack. Ivysaur and other grass types are weak against poison. Unfortunately, Ivysaur have a Sludge Bomb which will consume my first shield in this match. He will use his second Sludge Bomb that will take out my second shield, leaving me with no shields at all. Then I will just farm for energy here, but I accidentally pressed the Grass Knot button, that's why it launches the charge move, which I should have used it on the next Pokemon. I was able to farm energy and was able to launch Grass Knot by the time my opponent brought out Politoed. Now my opponent will bring out Infernape, which will lead me to switch to Azumarill. Azumarill is good against or great against fire types. Infernape was able to launch Blast Burn. Blast Burn is one of the strongest fire attacks. That's why my Azumarill's HP went down to half. Then Infernape will launch a Blast Burn here. Luckily Azumarill is tanky and will injure the Blast Burn. Now Bubble will do the trick to take down Infernape. Next match, Roserade versus Altaria. Altaria is strong against Roserade. That's why I will just farm for a few energy. Then I will switch to Alolan Sandslash. Altaria will launch a Sky attack, but since Alolan Sandslash is resistant to flying and dragon type attacks, I didn't use any shield. Powder Snow is doing great and brings Altaria's HP to half. Altaria was able to farm and will use Sky attack. Since Alolan Sandslash's HP is already half, I need to use my first shield. I was able to farm for Gyre Ball, which will take another shield of my opponent. Azumarill is out, that's why I will bring out again Roserade. Before I took out Roserade earlier, I was able to farm for a few energy. That's why in this match, I was able to do Grass Knot easily. Always remember, if you have weaker opponents, don't forget to farm energy which you could use against the next Pokemon. Because I was able to farm energy in just a few clicks, I was able to do Solar Beam, which brought Umbreon's HP to critical levels. Now I have the advantage, and Roserade took down Umbreon. Next battle, Roserade versus Whiscash. My opponent will switch to Mawile because of type disadvantage. Mawile's Ice Fang is very dangerous for Roserade. That's why I brought out Alolan Sandslash. But I made a mistake here. It should be Azumarill instead of Alolan Sandslash. Ice Fang is not very effective against Alolan Sandslash, but Mawile's Power Punch is super effective. That's why it took my last shield. Gyre Ball took down his first shield. Since I have no shields left, Power Punch will bring down Alolan Sandslash. I brought out Azumarill to continue the match. Ice Fang and Power Punch is not very effective against Azumarill. That's why he switched back to Whiscash. Whiscash threw a Mud Bomb, but my Roserade was very lucky enough to withstand the attack, allowing me to use Grass Knot to take down this Whiscash. He brought out Mawile, and in this match I will just farm energy that I will use on the next Pokemon. Last battle of this video, Roserade versus Absol. Poison Jab brings Absol's HP near to half, triggering my opponent's switch button, which brought out Golbat. I was able to farm enough energy to launch Grass Knot to take his first shield. Then I brought out Alolan Sandslash, but he was able to take my first shield using Shadow Ball. Alolan Sandslash's Gyro Ball brought Golbat's HP to critical level, which will lead to Golbat's downfall. He brought out Seismitoad, a water ground type Pokemon. Muddy Water is not very effective against Alolan Sandslash, that's why I didn't use my shield. Instead, Gyro Ball took down his last shield, giving Roserade a chance to take down Seismitoad. But before that, he was able to launch 2 Muddy Water against Roserade. One took my last shield. Now Asumaro will finish this match by just farming Bubble Attack. There you go, that's Roserade. Roserade could be a good boost to your team. It's a great counter against grass types, water types, fighting types, fairy types, and electric types. But be careful if you are matched against a trainer with fire, flying, ice, and psychic types. Right now, the 3 leagues are available: Great League, Ultra League, and Master League. And on Friday, May 1st, Season 2 will start. So be sure to subscribe to this channel because I'll be posting a lot of videos in Season 2. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And see you on my next episodes. Stay at home, be safe, enjoy battling, enjoy Pokemon Go at home. Don't go out. This pandemic will end soon. Let's pray for it. Thank you guys and bye-bye.